Sometimes we need a dose of reality because we can be delusional. Hey gems, welcome back to my channel. Today we're reacting to, not even reacting because that's not what it is. I wanted to share my thoughts on a video that Derrick Jaxn posted recently, and I thought it was a beautiful video, but I had some thoughts that I just wanted to share with you to also see your thoughts on it. So we're going to watch it together and then I'm going to share my thoughts in between and obviously after. So if you're enjoying these content and these kind of videos, please don't forget to like it and obviously subscribe and comment down below if you are familiar with the content creator Derrick Jaxn. All right, let's get right into it.
Videos like this, man, but recently I had posted a video talking about Michael B. Jordan and all the extravagant, luxurious things that he did for Lori Harvey on Valentine's, and a lot of people got really caught up on all the money that they saw and, you know, the storylines behind the celebrities and all that. But this video, it just further affirmed that it's not about a man's money, it's not about a man's status or whatever. The common denominator of a real man that truly loves you, ladies, is a man who has made effort and consistency a part of his identity.
Absolutely, okay. I absolutely agree with him because I've actually got a video that I just posted, how to know he's serious about you, and I did mention that consistency is something you need to look for. If the person's being consistent, and as he said, if they're showing effort, then at least you know that he's serious about you. And this man in the video, you can definitely see that they're elderly, like they have been doing it for a long time because they generally look happy in the video. So I'm happy to hear that hear a man say it. So ladies, listen, effort and consistency, if it's missing, they're not into you, sis. Let's go.
Effort and consistency, a part of his identity. Being a part of our identity means that it's not about how the wind blows. It's not about what mood we're in. It's not about, oh, whenever I finally get up, then I'm going to put this amount of effort into the relationship. Then I'm going to invest myself a certain level. Of course, no man or woman can pour from an empty cup. But I'm talking about, like, it's way more common than not that this man does everything that he can to make sure that you're in a positive or in the best emotional state that you can be, the best mental state that you can be, that he adds value to your life, that you're not struggling with anything or laboring over anything without his contribution to make that a little bit easier. Like, that's just who he is. It's not about what you say, and if you've been like, it's really just a part of his identity.
It's very interesting the way he worded it. It's part of the identity, okay? So this is when you will know if they're being fake or not. This is just something that doesn't change based on how they're feeling, what's going on at work, what's going on in their heart or even in their family. They are just that consistent and show effort. Why? Because it's inherent in them. Okay, people's character rarely change. Your personality, your attitude and your behavior can. And I find that the way he's described it as being part of your identity, he's implying that if it's inherent in you, it's part of the person's character, then that is something that shows that they're a real man. Yeah, I like that. Let's go.
So when I'm talking about effort and consistency, what I mean is, you know, it's going to be true to that man's resources or what's familiar to him. When a real man truly loves you, like say, for instance, if the man has bread, if he has millions of dollars, it may look like a splurge every now and then. Of course, you don't want your relationship to be defined by materialistic things, but it may look like, you know, baby, let's go out of the country because I see that you've been stressed out lately. Or, I just paid all your student loans because I'm tired of looking at them, so I know you are too. It may look like a splurge.
Yes, please come get rid of my student loans.
And that may truly be him loving you. or giving his best effort. Or if he don't have $1 million, it may look like a man who, you know, works well with his hands. And every time that you go buy something at IKEA or something off Amazon, you know, it don't stay at the house 3 or 4 hours before it's fully assembled and ready for you to use. Like, that may be how a man who's just like blue collar, works with his hands, like how he loves you. Or in this situation with this gentleman right here, you know, he seems to be a musician, he plays guitar. It may look like a man that sings for you or listens to you singing or whatever. Like, don't get caught up.
I really like how he's broken it down, and that's very interesting, and that's also something we need to be very conscious about, okay? So that we're not comparing the outputs of our significant others to somebody else's output, okay? So basically, cut your coat according to your size, or your coat will be cut according to the size of the resources of the man that you are with, okay? That was such a mouthful, but hopefully that makes sense. Basically, there's gonna be different degrees of output and affection and how these men show it. That doesn't mean one is lesser than the other. It just means that their resources are different. They're in different tax brackets, and that's okay. Comparison is the thief of it all. Do not compare. Yeah, that's interesting. Let's go.
Like, don't get caught up on the individual specific acts, but definitely know whenever you see a man, like if a man truly loves you, you're going to see effort and consistency in his identity.
Yeah.
And there's so many people, if I talk about the good side, I got to talk about the other side. There's so many people that would try to have you believe that you can't have this, that this is unrealistic. This is delusional thinking to even think that you could have this. It's strictly aspirational and blah, blah, blah. You know, the stats and the data say this. Tell this woman right here about the stats and the data. Tell this woman it's unrealistic for her to get treated like a queen.
I'm just going to say something there. I get what he's saying, and that is absolutely true. You can have what you want, but you can't have everything, you know? Not everything on your list you will get, because as human beings, no one out there is perfect, okay? So sometimes our expectations can be quite high or unrealistic, okay? And I'm not talking about standards. I've actually got a video coming up where I talk about standards and expectations. Sometimes our expectations can be very, very high, but our standards be very, very low, or vice versa. But sometimes just understanding that what we're asking for may be just really unrealistic as opposed to actual standards. Sometimes when you think that you're settling, but in actual fact you're not actually settling, this is the best that you can get, and learning a bit of humility and appreciation will go a long way. But just, yeah, having a realistic approach to the dating world is a very healthy thing to do. But yeah, I get where he's going with that. And absolutely, don't tell somebody that you don't deserve what you think you deserve. But sometimes you need to understand that sometimes you may be asking for a lot. It's interesting because I would love to know what the woman does in this case to maintain and appreciate such an amazing man, because as women we also need to learn how to keep a home lively, because I know as women we set the temperature for the house. We have a lot of it. If we are experiencing mood swings, guess what the atmosphere and the environment of the house is going to be, okay? So yeah, absolutely, you can get what this woman is experiencing in this video, but what we need to ask ourselves is, are we capable of doing and exhibiting the qualities that she exhibits in her marriage to gain and keep such a man? But yeah, that's just food for thought.
And I won't say it's just strictly because of the media, but oftentimes a man can be so invested and engulfed in loving his woman, he's not putting but so much effort into just, you know, trying to convince the world that he loves his woman. He makes it known, he lets it be known that he loves his woman and he got a woman and stuff like that, but he's not saying record my every move and trying to document everything that he does because he's so engulfed in that. But don't get it twisted. Like this doesn't exist for a woman like you. You know what I'm saying?
No, it absolutely exists. But when you say for a woman like you, that's a very general statement. You may be referring to a very crazy person. or a very entitled person or a very toxic person, and making such a blanket statement can automatically inflate somebody's ego and make they think that they are the table or only they are the prize. And that's not what, I don't think that's a healthy advice, okay? Because when you get a dose of reality somewhere down on the YouTube line, then you think that person is a sexist or a misogynist. Why? Because you haven't heard it before. And you don't think there's anything for you to change about your life. But hey, let's finish watching it.
And if you're in a relationship where you know that you deserve this type of treatment, but you're not currently getting it, of course, one alternative is to leave, to walk out of that relationship. And you have every right to if you're not getting what you deserve and you know what you want. But if you're in a very serious relationship, one that's headed towards marriage or one that's already in marriage, and you got a guy who's like at least showing signs of wanting to deliver on this level, and you want to know if he can, and once he does, you want to know what the action plan is to get to this point, there are very specific questions. First off, you need to ask him an action plan in order to course correct what has already gone wrong. Now, I go in way more in depth about that process in my book, Heal Together Without Hurting Each Other. It's available at the link down in the caption or in the bio, wherever you see it right now at half off. So get it before it goes back to full price. But the moral of the story is this: do not fall for the okie doke that this doesn't exist, or that you can't have it, or that you got to look like this or be this young or whatever. You know, I will be brutally honest. Ladies, you cannot have this if you waste time with men who want you to believe that you're delusional and unrealistic in your thinking for knowing that you deserve this. That's the truth.
Sometimes we need a dose of reality, okay? Because we can be delusional, okay? When we don't have access to certain types of information, certain types of facts and statistics, we live our lives in our own bubbles. Until we can get out of that bubble, we will not know that there's actually a whole new world. Sorry. Who does that? Who breaks into song? But anyway, sometimes we can be delusional. The same point about our expectations. Because this woman down the street was able to get it, we automatically think we can get it as well. That doesn't mean we can't get it, but we need to understand what that other woman is doing to save her marriage or her relationship. Are we capable and willing to do those things as well? Sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes as women, we approach these situations with a very entitled kind of thinking and kind of mindset, like a tantrum, like we want what we want. But at the end of the day, you can't always have what you want, especially if you are exhibiting toxic traits that will not allow you to keep that which you think you desire, okay? So, yeah, we can be delusional. As human beings, we can be delusional, especially women.
I know that I'm kicking a dead horse by saying that, but I need y'all to feel me on this so that you can feel like this woman does every day. But those are just my thoughts. Y'all let me know.
Absolutely. Well done, Derrick. Yeah, that was an interesting and insightful video. That's why I wanted to share it with you guys, just so that we can have a bit of a chit chat about it, because I don't think it's very blanket, okay? Obviously on my channel here, we want to take accountability and responsibility for our lives, for our actions, for our behaviors, our emotions, our reactions, and our responses. Our journey is to heal our brokenness into wholeness, become more self-aware of these things so that we don't come across entitled and delusional. And that comes with being curious about the subject matter, which is dating and relationship. When we get well versed in this area, that's when we can approach the dating and the relationship world with reality, you know, not operating from scarcity mindset or victim mindset, just to be able to approach it wholly, okay, so that we can get the most out of it, and also understand that we actually do have a choice in this. No, we don't control the access to relationships, but we can position ourselves in a way that allows us to find and meet suitable suitors. You know, we do have a part to play in it, okay? But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. What are your thoughts on this? As women, are we delusional? Can we have it all? Let's know down in the comment section. All right, until next time, take care and God bless. Bye.